Today, we're going to take a look at this ridiculous explosion in trainer gallery cards from Sword and Shield. We're looking at Lost Origin Gallery, Astral Radiance, and Brilliant Stars. Top gallery cards in this set are blowing up in price. Not too sure what's going on, but we got to take a look. We got to see if we have any of these cards sitting around, if now's the time to sell. Some of these prices have doubled in like a 2-week span. It's just insane. And I feel we got to talk about this now. We got to look, see if we have any of these trainer galleries. And let's look at our first card, probably the biggest increase of all of these cards. The Umbreon Vmax from Brilliant Stars Trainer Gallery. I don't know what's happening with this card. It is up about 200%. This is a $20 card. Its whole life it's been a $20 card. And in the last 2 weeks to a month, like all of these cards we're going to cover, it has shot up about 200%. Now about $60 for this raw card. If you've been saving this Umbreon Vmax, now might be the time to ditch it. Maybe get it graded if we're looking at a 10. Our graded prices, we couldn't do graded prices from price charting because they don't seem to have caught up yet. But we're looking at the most recent sales. We got a 38 and a 175. But you got to look at this price chart from the last month. Had to show this. This 1 month increase, this was April, what was that, 26th, 25th? It's only May 10th. The card has gone up 200% in that time span right there. Ridiculously unprecedented. I've never seen any cards go up this quickly, this high, since I've started this hobby. And now we got to look at the other Umbreon, the Umbreon V, same set, second most expensive trainer gallery card, doing the same exact thing as the Umbreon Vmax. 200%, about $45 now. This was like a $10 to $15 card its whole life. I think I might have had a couple of these. I might have to get rid of these, and I think we all should, probably. Time to get rid of this Umbreon V. $15 cards, now $40, $45. I think it's time we move this Umbreon V. Most recent sales, PSA 9, 43. Looking a little better than the Umbreon Vmax. Not too sure what that's about. The grade 10 at 140. Very solid. Grade 10 Umbreon Vmax is like 175, so 140 for this card. Not bad either. About $20 difference in PSA 10, and about a $20 value difference between this V and the Vmax. I've heard maybe this card is playable, and that's why, but I'm pretty sure Sword and Shield rotated out of the meta, so I don't know in what format this card's being played, if it is at all. If we look at the 1 month price chart, we just changed it up. Look at the 1 month, we can see that this has been less than a month, this 200% increase. It's only been a couple weeks, and this card has doubled in price at the very least, possibly tripled. In such a short amount of time, I don't know what's happening. I think this could either be the market like correcting itself now that Sword and Shield's out of rotation and people aren't opening it anymore. It's kind of at a print. Maybe this is just the rare cards in this set finally getting some value now that everybody's not cracking the set open. The only other thing would be playable in the TCG. Those are the two things I could think of as to why this is happening. But we got to look at some more cards. All right, the last Brilliant Stars Trainer Gallery card we're going to look at. This insanely beautiful art, Sylveon Vmax. How incredible. I really love this card. And people, I guess, are starting to like it too. This was a $15 card its whole life, something around there, maybe like $12 to $17. As we can see, over the past year, it's pretty much doubled in price. Went from about 15 to 30. Not as dramatic as the Umbreon Vs, but I think people just love Umbreon. Probably like their favorite evolution, so maybe that's why that card's around 200, and the card like this is only at 100. Which is still incredible. If your Pokemon card's doubling in price, and we can look here, doubled in price almost in the last month. April 18th to May 5th. We have this drastic increase of pretty much $15 at April 18th. And now May 5th, we're looking at a $30 price point for this card. Just incredible. Grade 9, last sale was $45. Grade 10, most recent sale was $130. Very valuable for the grade 10. That's really not bad at all. That's as much value as the Umbreon V. Looks like people are maybe putting a little respect on Sylveon's name. Not too sure, but the price is showing that this card is doubled in price, and this is another one that we might want to get rid of right now. How can you not? The ceiling on this, I don't know where it could be, but you always want to sell before you see that ceiling, and I think now might be the time. But let's move on to my favorite set, Astral Radiance, top trainer gallery card in Astral Radiance, the Starmie V. That Machamp card, which is the top pull of the whole set, I guess is not a gallery card. Starmie V, the most expensive gallery card in the set. Card is about $45 right now if you want to get a lightly played on TCG Player, which is very decent because this was about a $20 to $30 card its whole life. We look at over the year, it's up 30%, which is decent, which is a very good increase and kind of a normal expectation for a Pokemon card, unlike the ones we just saw for 200 and 100. 30% is pretty solid, and if it's slow growth, I think it's even more solid, which it kind of is. Other than this big spike and dip in August of 23, it's been pretty solid, and it looks like we're going to continue in this straight upward pattern, especially if we go look at this 1 month again. The 1 months are just killing it. Back in April 16th, this card was at its bottom of $32 for the month, and then we can see this giant increase. Obviously, it's not too much, but the card's about $40, $45 now. So in a month's time, it's gained about $10 to $15, which is that 30%. Just incredible. I think this card has some waifu potential, as well as just being a beautiful card and the top gallery pull. So this one, to be honest, I'm thinking we hold on to. I don't think we get rid of our Starmie Vs yet. Grade 10 going for $150. Maybe we try to get this one graded. Even a grade 9, not the worst. Second most expensive gallery card from Astral Radiance is this Garchomp V. Cynthia front and center, showcasing another trainer. This is the first card we've looked at that is actually not performing terribly well. Not at all on par with the other cards we've seen so far. Over the last year, it's actually down in price. The only thing that's been increasing is the 1 month, which we'll see in a second. But this was a $30 card when it first came out with the release of Astral Radiance. Just been dropping down ever since. Been about $15 to $20 this whole time. The grade 9 only $30, and I was looking, I've seen some sold recently for like 15 or 20 even, which is just ridiculous. The grade 10's about $75, the most recent sale. Those prices do seem to be going up a little bit. They used to be about 60-ish, now they're looking about 70 or 80. But if we look to that 1 month chart, which we just changed, there is an increase. We're seeing about 10 or 20%. Card's about $22-ish now. Was like 18 a month ago. Not a giant jump at all. It's only a couple dollars. Don't really know what we'd do with this card. I don't really see why you'd get rid of it now. A $4 increase is probably not very dramatic. Maybe we could hold it for the future. It's got Cynthia, got Garchomp, beautiful art. Maybe this is something we just gotta wait and see. A card that I don't think we have to wait any longer for is Umbreon Moltres. I think the jury is out. I think we get rid of Umbreon Moltres now. Don't really know if this card's ever got past $10. Right now it's about $6. The first card we've seen that in the last month is actually red. Even the Garchomp V was in the green for the last month. This card is tanking it, and it doesn't look like it's coming back. I don't know why. I like the card. It's pretty cool. But I guess it's just not on that same level as some of the other galleries we saw. If we look at the PSA prices, I mean, I was just checking. One PSA 9 did sell for $45 recently, but most all of them are less than $20. $13, $14 seems like about the average. PSA 10, $35-ish dollars. This card is just not it. Let's get rid of it now if we have it. Moving on to the last set we're covering, Lost Origin. We got 2 more cards after this. We're done. But let's start with everybody's favorite Pika, Chunkachu, Big Boy Pikachu. This is the Chunkachu from Lost Origin Trainer Gallery. Most expensive card in that gallery right now. About a $50 card with current market price. It's always been around $30-ish, was 40, was 30. It's always been around that. So going to $50 isn't crazy, but it is very good. It's around 50% that we're seeing. And once again, just like all these trainer gallery cards we're looking at today, just a crazy 1 month since April 15th, going from 30 to today, about 50 bucks, about a 50% increase. Just crazy. Looking at the grade 9s, about $62, so you probably don't want to grade this. Grade 10, not the worst. If you could pick up a $50 card, get it graded for 20. Grade 10 will bring you back about 120 in the most recent PSA sale. So not the worst. I don't think this is a card that you always have to grade. But to be honest, I think we got to hold this card. I don't think we could sell it yet. We're seeing a 50% increase, so if you got to sell it, I don't mind. I'm not going to argue with you. But I think we could hold this card. People love Chunkachu so much. Always loved Pikachu, and now that they made him chunky, they love him even more. The only comparable Pikachu Vmax is the one from Vivid Voltage. Obviously commands a higher price point, but much harder to pull. And in my opinion, this card looks a lot better than that card. This one has a trainer front and center. It just looks a lot better. It's got more color to it, and I think this might be the more desirable Chunkachu in the future. Second most expensive trainer gallery card is another Pikachu, Skinny Pikachu, Pikachu V. I love this card. Personally, my favorite card from this Lost Origin trainer gallery. Another card that does have a crazy 1 month that we'll see in a second. The 1 year doesn't look very impressive, right? It was a $30 card, took a dip to about 20, to 25 a couple times. Now this card's on its way back to 30, and we're gonna see in a couple days, maybe a week, if this is gonna break the $30 ceiling. Can this card get past this $30 price? We're gonna find out very soon, I imagine. PSA 9 and $41. Last grade 10 sale, about 85. I did see a couple going for like 100, so not horrible. If you pull this card out of a pack, want to get it graded, and you think you could get the 10, that's not gonna be the worst at all. But now let's look at this 1 month, and it's doing the same thing we've been seeing. Killing it in the last month. What happened on April 15th? I don't know. Maybe people got their tax money back and then started buying Pokemon cards? That is like literally the only thing I can think of as to why this is happening. I will say that most of the cards that are going up in price are beautiful cards, but that normally doesn't seem to matter too much, so a little confused, but Pikachu is killing it, and I think it's about to break a new ceiling and might go past $30. I think we just hold this card and see what happens. If you need a $20 bill, maybe you do it, but let's hold this Pikachu and let's see where he takes us. And now, the last card, the last gallery card we're covering, is the worst card we've covered so far. A pretty easy sell at this point. An $8 Mew, the Mew Vmax. I'm sorry, Mew. Don't know what's happening. I kind of like the black and gold cards, but I guess when you compare them to the other trainer gallery cards, they're just not doing it. I can understand that. Mew's been about an $8 card, $7, $8 since it's been out. It's never really gone to about 10, and now we're seeing today it's about $5. It's lost about half its value, and it's been slowly losing its value, which is something you don't want to see. There's not been very many big spikes or anything, and even in the last month, we're seeing just a steady decrease. I don't think there's any more signs that we need to see or any more numbers to see. The card is slowly going down, which is a bad sign. We've not seen any increases. In the last month, still going down about 25% at least. Pretty insane. An $8 card, now about $5. If we can get rid of it now and get $5 out of it, we could go buy another pack at least. I think that's what we got to do.